Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally. Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
I'll have a dirty banana.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, boys.
Evening, Mark.
Evening, Mark.
Okay.
You all right?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm a little bit perturbed, but I'm all right.
Oh,
perturbed? Yes.
Why, are you still smelling of vinegar?
Have you seen this new KFC advert?
Oh, yes.
No.
I'm not sure which one.
I'm
Right.
intrigued.
So I'm just going to try and explain it to you. And I promise you, I'm not on acid.
I reckon we all need to be to understand it.
I don't get it. So it starts off, and I think they're on some sort of an island, this group of people, right?
Okay.
They're carrying a giant egg.
Right.
A massive egg, right?
Yep.
And then a woman walks through, she comes forward from all the other people on this island with a man. She's carrying this man. He's almost like he's, I don't know, rigor mortis is setting or whatever. He's all stiff.
Like a
Is
mannequin.
he small or big?
No, he's a full-size man, and she's just carrying him horizontally.
Right.
She walks to the water that looks like gravy, dips him in it,
Oh.
Yeah.
and then when she pulls him out, he's a piece of KFC chicken. And I'm like, what?
And what happened to the egg?
Exactly.
Is it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It sounds like an AI advert. You know, it all like merges. I mean, I've not seen
honestly,
it.
it's like somebody's on a trip and they've gone, I've got a great idea for an advert.
So they're walking.
Not run it by anybody else. And
They're
just put it-
walking towards the sea of
So
gravy.
there's loads of people carrying an egg on an island.
Right.
Then a woman sort of steps forward of all the other people that are on the island,
Yeah.
carrying a man horizontally, like if you were carrying a plank of wood in two arms, hands, yeah?
Yeah.
Walks forward with this bloke who's just like all stiff laid across her. Goes to the gravy, water, whatever you want to be, dips him in it and pulls him out and he's a piece of chicken.
Yeah.
And it's like that.
Sounds-
I really don't understand what they've, other than, obviously I'm talking about it now, what on earth it's
so there's
supposed
no-
to...
Can I give you my opinion on what I think is the angle?
Go on.
And I'm not saying this is fact or anything like that. It's just that I did the same, Mark. I watched it. It was on a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, what the hell was all that about?
Yeah.
And
Is this a TV advert or
Yeah, TV advert.
Or a social media advert?
TV
No?
advert.
TV
Well,
advert.
I think it's on social media as well,
Okay.
but TV advert.
Wow.
It's not on radio.
No, but you know what I meant. Some adverts are only on social media.
And I remember thinking to myself, watch it, what the hell was that? And then put it out in my mind. But then I saw it again and again. I think it must have been, like, you know how sometimes they repeat the same set of adverts in a show or whatever. And it did get me thinking about it. And I didn't want to search it, but I wanted to try and figure it out. And I think, well, I've got my opinion on what it is. I think it's something to do with the question of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
I was just thinking. That's the only thing I've currently.
And
think
I
of.
think obviously they've got the eggs. It's like a big golden egg, isn't it? That,
Yeah.
that they're like carrying.
Yeah.
But obviously a chicken couldn't have laid it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the chicken would have come first.
Yeah.
So almost as though they're answering the question that the egg came first. Yeah. And it's KFC,
Yeah.
as in the gravy,
Yeah.
that created chicken.
By dipping men into it.
Look, I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm not saying
know.
I'm not saying it's factually correct. I'm saying that's what I think is the thought process
it's
behind it.
Man-made.
Either that
Oh,
or
okay.
it's just somebody's gone, right, we're going to do something so out there that people are going to be like, what on earth's all that about? With no meaning to it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Well,
Almost like when companies go, oh, it's not called Skoda, it's now called Skoda.
Yeah.
Well, some
Yeah.
companies do this, and it works because we're talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, companies sometimes they do this really out there stuff.
Yeah.
I've stopped eating chicken.
Well, that's just reminding me about something about KFC. This will blow your mind because I forgot to mention it on my Filipino one.
Oh.
Right. So they have KFCs over there, right?
Yeah.
And of course their menu's slightly different. However,
And chicken's hard.
their gravy is free. It's basically on a little station.
I suppose
and
it
you-
has to be, doesn't it? Because
Uh,
if the chicken is quite dry, like you say it
Yeah,
is.
it's quite tough.
Yeah.
Well, no, the KFC's our chicken. It's soft chicken.
soft chicken.
It's soft chicken. It's not our chicken.
Soft chicken. Our
Yeah.
chicken is soft chicken.
Yeah. So the KFC's soft chicken. It's like we know it, but their gravy it's completely free.
I could just imagine
And-
chickens in Philippines walking around with tattoos.
Well, they do. Honestly, they are.
Love and hate on the,
They completely
the wings.
they look completely different from our chickens.
Arder's Cluck.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
dear.
get like him.
We're gonna have to split them two up.
I know.
I tell you.
Terrible.
Um,
It's rubbing off. just
and
one.
is the gravy the same? Is the gravy the same?
The gravy's exactly the same, and when they serve you your fries and your chicken, they serve them on little plastic dishes, and there's a little space cut out in the corner for you to put your gravy in, because the gravy is, you don't get the gravy from the.
You dispense it.
You get it from a little dispenser, a bit like in a McDonald's with tomato
Tomato
sauce.
ketchup.
But is it not cold?
No, it's hot.
Oh wow!
So it's in a specialised hot thing, and you just pump it into your little thing, and you don't. Because I went in going, ordering something and gravy, and they were looking at me going, "What you buying gravy?" Well, and obviously they're trying to explain to me in Filipino/English. They're like, "No, it's on a pump over there." I'm like, "What?" It really confused me. I'm like, "What, free gravy?"
I wonder why it's so different. Why they do things like this in different countries, different ways.
I mean,
and it's not standardised.
I mean, I can understand. I mean, they've got rice. I mean, I understand that.
What, a rash?
They've got rice. You can buy rice. I understand that, because obviously everybody eats rice, and stuff like that. Same with McDonald's, they do.
Can we get rice in our country?
Not as far as I'm concerned.
They do rice boxes, yeah.
Oh, do they? Oh, okay. But they sort of do separate rice, a bit like McDonald's. They do pizza over there in their.
Really?
Yeah. So it's all. Listen, I've got photo. I need to share some of this.
Do they
But I just
do-
wanted to make the point with
Do
the gravy. It's
McDonald's
free.
do rice with their Happy Meals
Yes.
and /meals?
Yes.
Do they?
Everything. Everybody does rice with everything, because that's all they eat. Rice. So rice is everywhere.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you'd have a
So
Big
maybe
Mac
this
with
KFC
rice.
advert then, we're filming it Philippines, gravy were free, they overloaded on it and started dipping the boyfriends in it.
Because why not? It's free.
Because why not?
Anyway, on that note, we've had a question in from one of our listeners.
That was a good link, that, Mark. Yeah, seamless.
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, do you want to carry on talking about KFC?
Absolutely not.
Is it
Absolutely
Dave?
No, it's not Dave, our one listener. It's another person now.
Oh,
is
so
it?
we've got another listener.
Yeah, this is from Sandra,
Oh.
and she says, What's
laughing at?
Well, I know Sandra's our second listener and Dave's our first one, but Sandra's decided to write in. So she says,
Don't laugh at Sandra. Not nice.
I know, inappropriate times to laugh. Is there something you wish everybody knew about you without having to tell them? That's what Sandra asked.
Oh.
So is there something you wish everybody knew about you without you having to tell them? So, where should we start?
Rob's normally good at this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I think I can think
I
of
know.
two.
I think I know what Rob's answer will be. I wish they all knew that I'd got a podcast, not a podcast, a YouTube channel called The Big Toe.
Yeah.
I know
And
he's
they've
going
all
to
subscribed to it.
I think
We all wish that everyone knew that we got a podcast without us having to tell them.
yeah.
Rob's going to say, I wish people knew I was an actor.
Mate, you've just got it.
No.
I genuinely wish people knew that I was a good actor without me having to persuade them that I am a good actor. That would genuinely be it. Because I found for years when obviously I don't have to explain, but I feel like there's always a timeline where people go, so sorry, when did you become an electrician? Well, I was about 27. So what did you do
Before,
for
yeah.
first
Yeah.
10 years when you
Bugger
left
all,
school?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Bugger
Nothing.
all.
You were my boss for part of it.
I was. I still did bugger all.
Well, I did, you're right. It's because I was too busy doing a night shift and then going to film Coronation Street and then coming back to
doing
do
a night
another
shift
night
and
shift
spending most of the time on phone to bloke it radio.
and asleep.
Can we see these episodes of Coronation Street somewhere?
You must be able to, but you don't ever
but
find
none of
out.
you.
You don't find out what episodes they are or anything.
You're not?
So I don't think I've ever seen myself on Coronation Street.
What?
And I think
I've seen me.
How many do you think you did? I reckon you might have done more than me.
20.
Oh, you definitely did more than
25.
me.
I got to a point where I was doing Coronation Street about 3 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I did Emmerdale more than Coronation Street. I don't know.
I did Coronation Street, Hollyoaks, and 2 pints lager and a packet of crisps.
Me and Mark will just sit this one out while you talk about
I
it.
did I did Coronation Street, Emmerdale, The Royal, Heartbeat, Tonight with Trevor McDonald, and a few others.
What was he acting in?
What, Tonight with Trevor McDonald?
Yeah, what were he
I
acting?
weren't. Do you remember the
He reenacted a murder.
Reenacted, yeah.
Yeah, it was the reenaction. Reenaction? Is that right?
Reenactment.
Of do you remember the farmer that had his set a gun up in his shed?
Yeah, he died
And-
recently, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, he died a couple of weeks ago.
And the boys went in to Robbie's
Yeah.
shed or whatever, and
Yeah.
as they opened the door,
Martin,
it
his
ended
name,
up-
Martin somebody.
Yeah. Well, I played one of them that were breaking into his shed.
Really?
Anyway,
I once played a part.
All right.
Yeah, I was the arse end of a pantomime donkey.
what were that in?
The nativity.
So, so anyway, I get this. Obviously, there's 10 years where people go, so what did you do then? And I feel like I start explaining that I was an actor, but then I feel like I've played it down a little bit, and so then I start having to explain, and I did this and I did that, and and you're thinking, I'm still not selling this. It sounds like I didn't really do anything for 10 years, and
Kirk said you didn't.
Well, I did. I did plenty of stuff, theatre and education and cruise ships and blah, blah, blah. I did some films. But because nothing really came of it and nothing came of it,
Yeah.
end of.
Well, it's a hard industry. So
It is.
It's a hard
It is.
industry.
And unless, if no one knows what you've been in or who you are, then you weren't an actor. You just played, you just did something. And that's kind of how it kind of feels, that I literally spent 10 years of my life just not really doing much.
I mean, if any of our listeners do want to see Rob acting in a film, you can actually see him in a film.
oh, yeah.
yeah, is it the Edgar?
The last days of Edgar Hardin.
Correct. Yeah.
See, I'm with you, mate.
You
Tell me
are,
I
mate.
care.
Yeah.
So it's a film that I actually went with you to watch the premiere of it.
Yes.
In Bradford.
Thought you were going to say Broadway.
And Rob plays a part in The Last Days of Edgar Hardin.
Yeah.
He also sings
One of the
the theme.
It was the theme tune for the
Well, you sing
trailer,
the-
Yeah.
but it was just one of the songs in the film. Yeah.
So if anyone did want to watch our Rob in anything, if you can search The Last Days of Edgar
It was
Hardin.
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. And he is in there.
You
But
have to pay
but
for it.
but it's not now.
I think it was free at one point, and then you had to pay for it.
Oh.
Not quite sure
If
why
it's
you
free,
pay
I'll
for
have
it.
a look.
What I would say is ignore his hairstyle. It is awful.
It was my hair was really long.
Awful.
Did you have to have your hair like that, or that's just how you chose to have it?
Kind of. I was playing a world famous singer called James Madison. And I
Never heard of
I
him.
had to kind of have this grungier look, and obviously I look more like someone from A1 or Blue than I did.
You look a bit fat in it as well, don't you?
Did I?
Well, I've watched it. I've watched it. You do look a bit fat.
I think in one of the pictures in it, I've got my top off and there's some abs showing. I think I was quite
Yeah,
lean.
I mean your face more than you.
Yeah, well, maybe.
You were a bit chubby.
Maybe. I might miss what the lens did. But yeah, I absolutely love doing that. There's a guy in it called Daniel Sharman who's done really well now. He's in all sorts of stuff.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, you probably haven't because he's not made it that big time. But anyway, yeah. So that would be my thing, is having to almost explain to people that I was an actor.
Well,
And just wish they just knew. If I'd pretty much made it famous enough that they go, oh, you're Rob who used to be on
Yeah.
said drama,
Yeah.
said programme. Do you know what I mean?
well, it's funny you should say that about you having to explain. When I sometimes, talk to people about my friends, I'll say, oh yeah, one of my friends, he works for Amazon, and then I always have to explain to them because they go,
What's
Amazon.
he called?
When I go, he works for Amazon, they go, oh, does he drive a van? And I have to explain to him, or no, he works for Amazon as an electrician, because they just presume when I say my friend works at Amazon, they
Yeah.
presume you pack boxes and stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I guess you get that sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, if I say, what do you do? I work for Amazon. All right.
Yeah.
And then it's,
Because they automatically presume you pack
Yes.
boxes or something. They
Correct.
don't go, you don't go, I work for Amazon. Oh, you must be an electrician. They don't do that, do they?
no.
So, Something else I'll say about Rob as well that he doesn't ever talk about, and I don't even know whether you two know this.
Oh, is he gay?
Well,
Is that what you...
jury's out.
Go on.
So Rob got through to the final stages of SoapStar.
SoapStars Superstar.
So SoapStar Superstar. So it was a little bit like
No, I
X
think, it
Factor.
was, I think it was just called SoapStars.
I thought it, yeah.
Can I just interject here? Is that the one where they were getting a family to go
That's
on
right.
Emmerdale?
That's
Correct.
right.
Okay.
That's
I didn't
right.
watch it, but I sort of know of
That's
it.
right. So
Okay.
I went with Rob to because it was open auditions, and obviously they were filming it, so a bit like a Britain's Got Talent, X Factor kind of setup,
Yeah.
weren't it?
Can I just interject? 'Cause
Yeah.
a bit before this.
Right.
So I went and auditioned in Sheffield,
Okay.
and I didn't get through. I didn't even get through the first round. And then Kirk said, "Oh, I wanted to go and do that SoapStars," and I went, I went, and you're like, "Oh, we're going to go to Birmingham," and I went, "I'll tell you, I'll come with you. I'll come with you. I'll not audition. I'll just come with you."
Why Birmingham though?
It were at Aston Villa Football Club where they were holding the auditions.
I wouldn't remember.
So it
where
was Sheffield, and then the next
I
club.
remember the Welsh girl the night before.
So there were, well, no. so there was Sheffield, and then the nearest one was then Birmingham.
I don't. They did loads.
it was all around the country. They
Yeah,
did
I know,
it.
but I'm just wondering why you go. Well, I'll go to Birmingham to audition.
I've no idea.
Oh,
I can't
okay.
remember. I was 17
I'm sure
years old.
because listeners are going to go, "Why is he going to Birmingham when you can just go to Leeds?"
I
or
don't
where?"
think they'll be thinking that.
Well, I did.
All I'm thinking now is what was it the Welsh girl said? No. I remembered now.
Yeah.
What's occurring?
Exactly.
What's happening?
Just for the record, I didn't, but there you go. We were staying in a really dodgy B&B, weren't we?
Gosh.
Like the old like couple. You know, like what you see on like a murder thing, where like these people stayed at the B&B and was never seen again. It was
scary.
It was very very much.
It was
like that.
scarier than Kirk's stag do at a hotel.
I was just going to say, actually, it sounds like the sort of place I would book.
Yes, very much so.
It was scarier than that.
Very much
Really?
so.
Yeah.
And this girl wanted to come and stay. Let's say have a sleepover in mine and Rob's bedroom, and the guy at the B&B wouldn't let her.
Why did he know her?
No, it was beyond a certain point of the time of the B&B. You had to be in your own bedrooms, and you weren't allowed to like be in other people's bedrooms or whatever.
Okay.
And it weren't necessarily on the cards, but it was just the fact that he was paroling the corridors, making sure that no one went into anyone's rooms.
He was
like
patrolling
weird.
them as well. He wasn't letting the corridors off.
Oh goodness me!
So we went together, and God, we queued for hours, and I mean hours.
Yeah.
And in the queue, you obviously meet other people. Now, I actually used to be all right at acting. I could act.
You were just all right. You were very good.
Yeah, I were. And I'd got a history with acting. My passion was acting. Obviously, we were both studying performing arts. We'd been on stage. I'd performed at the Millennium Dome. I'd performed it. You know, it was something that I wanted to do, to be an actor. We both did. And all the way round on this queue, where we're queuing to go, obviously you speak and get to know other people. And I'd got this set thing that I was going to do, like a monologue. So you get up there, you've only got a few seconds to kind of capture their attention. Thinking about it now in hindsight, they don't care what you said or what you did. They're just looking to see what you look like. Let's face it, that's how it is. However, you don't think that at the time. And I'd got this monologue that I'd absolutely nailed. It was actually a monologue that we'd studied at college, which was to do with an old woman had fallen down in a hallway, and she was stuck. She couldn't get up, and it was a monologue. It's a play, and it's a really good acting scene. You know, it really gives you the chance to show off your acting skills, and that's what I was doing. That's what I was going to do. I'd got it nailed. I'd got it, remembered and stuff. But while we were going round, we started talking to other people. And these people had managed to convince me that my idea was rubbish.
What, the people in the queue?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they managed to convince me that it wasn't enough, that it wasn't, that it would bore them.
Had you shared the monologue with them, or just told them what you were
they
going to
read
do?
his mind.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I was stood in a queue and somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to read a monologue," I might be inclined to go, "Oh, I won't do that."
Yeah.
So I'm saying, did he share that monologue with them?
No. Yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. And everyone was very much like, "Oh no, yeah, you're good, you're a really good actor, but that's not what it's about.
Okay.
You need to try and make them laugh." And they'd convince me that what I was doing was boring and it just wouldn't work.
Okay.
And I needed to do something different, and I needed to try and make them laugh. And literally, this conversation was happening right up until I was at the bottom of the steps to go up onto the stage, because I walked up on the stage, the judges were sat there, and I'd let them convince me that the best thing to do, and this is what I did. I went up, stepped on the stage, looked at the judges. So bear in mind, as far as I'm concerned, I am a good actor. I can act. I'm studying performing arts. I've been in shows, productions. been on TV or whatever.
Do you know who I am?
Yeah. And my thing was, I'd got a bag with me because obviously you know, it was like a rucksack. And my thing was, thanks for seeing me. My name's Kirk, and in this bag, I've brought with me something that you will absolutely have to say yes to. There's no two ways about it. Once you've seen what I've got in my rucksack, there's no way you can say no. It's an absolute God-given thing. And I got my rucksack off my bag. Are you ready to see it? Are you ready? Open my rucksack, and they went, oh, I forgot it.
Right. So can I just?
And that was the response.
Wow.
Can I just ask you something?
Yeah.
So that what you
Did you know you were going to say that?
That what you just came up with? Did you come up with that on the spot as you were walking up the stairs?
No, they'd convinced me. The people that
they told you what to do.
They'd convinced me that that's what I should do. That it'd be funny.
You didn't make that clear. That's
Sorry.
why I asked you. Sorry,
Yeah.
because they convinced you not to do the monologue.
Yeah.
But I didn't think they came up with another idea. Okay.
Wow. And it was appalling. Obviously, they just looked at me as though I'd got two heads, and then went, "Okay, thank you," and I walked off. And I walked off. I thought, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I don't understand why I did it.
Was Rob not with you?
So Rob had got me and Rob had got split up, and I'll let Rob.
Oh, okay.
Explain, but me and Rob had got split up. But Rob went up on stage, did a monologue. I think you did your Blood Brothers one, didn't you?
Do you know
did
what?
you do
No, it went differently to that. I think I'll explain.
Somebody
in a minute.
convinced you to change it.
Oh, anyway,
It was something different.
We got split up and this, that, other. So Rob got through, and obviously I didn't. But then Rob did make his way right through to the final stages.
Really? Were you on TV and stuff?
Yeah.
What?
So mine was quite a weird story, to be fair. So we were in the queue. Bear in mind, I'd gone to support Kirk. I wasn't actually going to audition. I'd already auditioned in Sheffield and didn't get through. So we were in this queuing with Kirk, and I was just there for company. And we'd been in the queue for hours. And all of a sudden, I turned round, and there was a girl stood behind us, and I'm thinking, I recognise you. And she kind of glanced at me, and her head kind of tilted. You know when someone's almost recognises you, but you're thinking, I don't really know who this person is. And then it dawned on me. Her name was Jade. And we were
from Little Mix.
We met each other at a holiday park when we were about 13. Bear in mind, how old were we? 17, 18 now at this point.
Yeah.
So 5 years on, we'd not seen each other since then, but we kind of, you're that age, they were a bit flirty. I think we kind of got a bit of a thing. And I
Pen pals.
like thinking about how bad I am with names. And I just looked, and she kind of looked both at the same time. I went, Jade, and she went, Rob, and literally right next to us was railings, and they got like roaming cameras going round interviewing people. They just heard they heard it. They heard me go, Jade, Rob, and we were like, no way! And all of a sudden the cameras just came flying in on us, and they filmed the entire thing of us going, what are you doing here? Oh my gosh, this is mental. So we had this conversation. That's when we got separated.
Yeah.
Because they pretty much pulled me straight out of the crowd.
Yeah.
They pulled her out of this lineup, and then wanted to know all the story. So then we didn't realise at the time, but they geared it so that we ended up going in at the same time. Before we went in, they gave us a script, and we ended up doing the male and female version of a script from Emmerdale. So we got a massive heads up above anybody else, because we were being given a script from Emmerdale. Everyone else is going and doing their own thing. And we did this thing, and we both got through that round. No surprise. So made great TV. So that we had to go back the next day, and that's when you'd not got through, and you said, I'm going to have to go home. I don't know if you were working or something. So you ended up going home.
Probably.
I then had nowhere to go because I'd only gone to support Kirk. So Jade was with some of her friends, said, it's fine. Bear in mind, we were only 17. She said, it's fine. You can come and stay at my mum and dad's. So she rang her mum and dad and went, do you remember Rob when we were younger? He's here. Can he stay? So I ended up going back to theirs. But on the way back to theirs, the film company's ringing us saying, can you slow down? We're going to get there before you get there to film you arriving. So we gets back there, and it was just so surreal. I mean, obviously, it was mum and dad's house. It weren't like there weren't anything naughty going on around. I stayed in her brother's bedroom. The next day, we then went to the next round of auditions, and she didn't get through that next round, but I did.
And then you weren't invited back to her house.
Yeah,
Rob moved in for a month.
no. Yeah. Sorry, she did get through. It was and then we went to London. Which was a few weeks later. We went to London, and the first round of London, she didn't get any further, and I did. And it ended up getting all the way to the point where it wasn't the final 10, it was just before the final 10. And I got pulled into...
Final 11?
No, I can't remember. There wasn't that many of us left. I think there was 3 of each character they're looking for. And I got pulled into a room, and they basically said the producers have been in today watching what's going on, and they think, unfortunately, you look too much like Andy Fletcher, who is played by...
Andy that is his real name.
Sorry, that's his real name.
I don't know whether it's Andy's first name. It's
Kelvin.
Kelvin, thank you.
You look too much like Kelvin Fletcher, who was Andy Sugden.
Yeah.
And they said, so unfortunately, they're not going to be able to cast you, so there's no point you going any further. And they literally said, do you want to either go now and almost going out the back door, or do you want to go on and be seen to go out the programme? I was like, I'll go out. I'll just go out the programme like normal. So I joined everyone else and just had to get cast out like I didn't make it. And yeah.
Well, I guess you know what happened to the Emmerdale family, don't you? Because
it didn't last very long.
Because it were a big backlash to it, weren't they?
Yeah.
Remember?
Was there?
Yeah, and well, that's the reason why they were written out eventually. I think they only went for a year. I think they lasted on the set.
The contract was a year, weren't it?
Yeah.
The contract was a year, so it probably was a year.
I felt like one of the actors lasted longer, but I think it was something to do with the other actors of Emmerdale not thinking that it was fair.
Equity, that were the problem. It was all because at the time, obviously you needed to be in equity, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they weren't. But of course they were because they weren't. And the actors at the time. I mean, I know things have moved on since then. It's a bit more fluid. But back then there were a lot of backlash about why are these normal people, just coming off the streets.
Because I'd not even got my equity card at that point.
And of course they didn't like the fact that these people off the streets were just coming straight in when all these other actors had gone through.
Pantomimes.
But I mean, I'm not talking from an actor's point of view. I just remember reading in news about it, and they were all, because I think I watched a TV program, a documentary about it, and they got some of the actors saying, we felt we weren't treated very well on set because they would shun them, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They said the time on the year they didn't like it because they weren't treated very well by the other actors and stuff. So, but it's water under the bridge now. Obviously, things have moved on.
Me and Rob went to another. Just while we're talking about it, I may as well cover this. Me and Rob did go to another audition. Went to a Hollyoaks audition, an open audition.
What race course was that at? It wasn't York. It was much further away.
We got a train. I remember we getting a train because we actually wrote a song on that train.
Yeah.
And
10 miles from anywhere.
10 miles from anywhere. Very much. Can you remember any of it?
Why are we 10 miles from anywhere?
Is
a long time
Is
ago.
this the follow-up to 500 Miles by the Proclaimers?
It's actually because there's a story behind it. We met someone on the train and we were talking about where we were from. We were a stranger on train, and we asked him where he was from, and he said Thurnscoe. And both me and Rob was like, where's Thurnscoe? And he was like, it's 10 miles from Doncaster, 10 miles from Barnsley, 10 miles from Rotherham. So we were like, 10 miles from anywhere then. And then
that's where the song came from.
Yeah.
You do know where Thurnscoe is now, don't you?
Yes, 10 miles from anywhere. But yeah, we ended up getting in this queue for Hollyoaks, which it was...
That was even longer, that.
It was absolutely insane. And we went through every kind of weather you could think of. It was peeing down with rain and then burning hot sunshine, and the wind was blowing and then burning hot sunshine. It was mental.
No snow.
We'd been in this queue.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
So there were no snow.
Yes, there was snow.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and a bit of hail and a bit of frost.
Thunder.
And how many other lists? Thunder.
Yeah.
Christmas.
He said weather, not seasons.
And we'd been in this queue for about 7 hours, 8 hours maybe. It was in Cheshire, wherever it's filmed.
Yeah, Cheshire.
Cheshire?
Chester.
Anyway, wherever it's filmed.
Right next to Liverpool.
And we were there, and after about
Cheshire.
8 hours, bear in mind we were stood there, Rob turned around to me and went, right, I've got to go.
What?
I was like,
What are you going to go for?
I was in a show.
Yeah.
I was in The Wiz at the theatre in Rotherham, and Neil was with us.
Yeah.
And both Neil played the Tin Man, and I played the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like a joke. It weren't. And we got to go.
Left me on my own.
So we're literally like, we've queued for 8 hours, and because we'd not got this queue, just didn't seem to move at all, did it? There were tens of thousands of people there.
Wow.
And so that were it. We just left the queue, got back on the train and came home for a performance. Kirk stayed. Go on.
I stayed. Literally, it ended up being about 14 hours before I got to the
Wow.
front. So bear in mind, we're outside. We've listed all the weathers that I was in. All right.
Yeah.
And then you got.
I'm happy.
I got to the front, and there were like a
Easter.
there was a producer there, and they went, right, look your best.
14 hours
After 14 hours of queuing?
Right. And said, what do we need to do? Just go up on stage, say your name, say your age, say where you're from. Okay? Go up on stage. Hi, my name's Kirk. I don't know how old I were, 17 or whatever. I'm from Rotherham. Right, thank you. That was it.
That were it.
You either got a yellow slip to say that you was through, or a pink slip say you weren't, or something like that. And that was it. That was it. 14 hours of queuing to stand on stage and say my name, where I was from, to then get told.
What baffles
Off
me
your
with that, right, is that obviously I completely believe you when you say you were 14 hours, but if that's all they're doing, people walking on stage and going, my name's Mark, I'm 17 from Sheffield, thanks, walking off. Why did it take them so long to get through
The
that?
amount of people.
The amount of
Mark.
people.
I mean, literally,
I
they
know,
put adverts out there in the national press and stuff like that of open auditions for Hollyoaks. And that was it.
Well, it seems... Crikey.
That was it. So there you go. Sorry, that was a bit self-indulgent of us, weren't it, Rob? But I just thought,
Why not?
Took the opportunity. So what was the question
I
again?
was just going to say, I can't...
What was the question again, Mark?
Yes, it's here.
Is there
So,
something you wish of?
is there something you wish everybody knew about you without you having to tell them?
What about you, other Mark?
And that's from Sandra.
You've had long enough to think about it.
I know you've
He
just
fell
woke me
asleep
up.
while you were...
I can't. No,
Woke me
I
up,
don't
you
think-
cheeky bugger. Right, Mark, have you got one?
Yeah, I mean, it's job related, really. It's about what I do. Because
What do you do?
well, I don't know. That's my problem, you see. Well, obviously, I tell people I'm a DJ, and then similar to the sort of when you said to people I work Amazon, they you know, I know they know what a DJ is, but they just roll their eyes and sort of go. I mean, you probably get this a little bit more, don't you? You don't say you're a DJ, you say you're a civil engineer, don't you? But you know what I'm saying?
Civil engineer?
Where did that come from?
Well, something to do with engineering, are you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you do?
He's a bricklayer.
Do you work for Amazon? What do you do?
I work for Amazon.
So when I say I'm a DJ, they just roll their eyes at you. And because I'd like to think that I'm quite a modest person. I don't big myself up much. I tend to be more...
Not like me and Kirk have just done.
yeah, exactly. I'm quite... I think me and Mark are more reserved. Although when Mark's had a drink, he's probably not. But, we tend to be more laid back and stuff. And so I just say, I'm a DJ. And they'll go, oh, okay. And I'll leave it at that generally. So I wish sometimes people understood what I do without me having to explain it to them. Because sometimes I do elaborate a little bit more and go, oh, well, what I do, I DJ in hotels and I have contracts with hotels and, I supply DJs and, and things like that. And but I don't really like telling them that, but I wish they did know. Because...
Yeah, fundamentally, you own your own business.
Yeah.
You have a
How do you
DJ
get a
business.
T-shirt printed that says I'm a DJ and I supply hotels with DJs? I don't like talking about it.
Well, I sort of do, but I don't, if you know what I mean. I don't really like talking about it. I mean, it's like when I went to Philippines, they asked me. When I went to Philippines, I know they're more family oriented, so they asked me, but most of the time I didn't really talk
Have
about it.
you ever heard of Agadoo?
Well, that reminds me of something about it. I've just thought of something else about Philippines. I'll come back to that. But another thing that I guess it don't fit in with the question, but it does a little bit.
You can't just
It-
start
it's-
answering different
No,
questions.
no, but it sort of does.
I'm 5'10",
I
13 stone.
always find
Oh,
it
but you
when,
didn't ask that, did you?
I always find when I'm on these podcasts, I seem to ramble on about loads of rubbish. So
No
yeah,
shit, Sherlock.
And that's why we keep inviting you back.
I know. I just do ramble, don't I? Yeah, sometimes I think, particularly with clients, I'm talking about clients at hotels, like particularly brides and grooms and things like that, where they want a bit more. You speak to them and they talk about the music and stuff. Before the event, they want to know a bit about you. But like with clients at hotels, particularly, is that obviously all this equipment that I have in the hotels, they all presume that it's all the hotels. The TVs, the projectors, the speakers, the lights. It's a full. I mean, you guys have seen what I do, and they always think always belongs to the hotel. They don't think it's mine.
How dare they?
And again, it's not that I don't want to go shouting about it, but they just presume it's theirs, and I'm just a DJ, a random DJ they've got in to fill that their function, if you like. And next week it'll be Dave Doubledecks, that's DJing, and week after it'll be somebody else, and they're using the hotel's equipment, you know what I mean? And then of course, even if you sort of convince them or talk to them about it's my gear, they'll go, wow, because they're not interested. But then you then don't want to sort of say to them, well, next door's all my equipment, and this hotel's that's all my equipment. This hotel's that's my equipment.
I'm not Dave Doubledecks, All these speakers are mine.
But again,
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this posh hotel. Sandra and Dave are getting married. Those speakers, they're mine. The lights, also mine. That room there, yep, mine. That DJ works for me.
Well, you've hit the nail on the head. But that's exactly right. I mean,
I do get what you mean.
And if you go to the
you know-
Philippines, you get free gravy.
But you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. It's something-
I don't do that.
It's something
because
that
it would-
you're proud of.
Yeah.
Because it's something that you've achieved over your life and built this business from nothing to what it is now, which is at the end of the day a successful business, but yet you have no outlet for anyone to understand or realise it.
And I also, I mean, I know you're joking, that's fine, but I also understand that people don't really care if that equipment's mine or not. They don't care. That's hence why I don't tell them that.
Yeah.
Because they don't care. It's like when something like DJs going, oh yeah, I've got a 2,000 watt system, and and 6,000 clients aren't bothered.
What?
6,000 what?
See, they're not, are they?
No.
It's when you see advertisements, I've got a 2,000 watt sound system. Clients aren't interested in that. I've never advertised like that, but you do see adverts from DJs like that, don't you? I'm sure you've seen them.
Do you drive down when you drive down the street in your car? You wind your windows down. I didn't make this car. I'm just driving it. But it is mine.
It's not mine, actually.
It's not mine.
It's not mine. I lease
And I
it.
still didn't make it. I leased this.
Yeah, I leased
But those
it.
speakers are mine.
But yeah, does that fit the question?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is something I'm proud of, but I don't ever share with anyone because nobody cares.
No. Good. Kirk. Sorry. What would you say, Kirk?
Oh, what question again?
Anyway,
Do I own speakers?
back to me. Do you not care, you guys? You just
No.
no.
Is there something you wish everybody knew about you, but without having to tell them?
I feel as the probably best answer I can give to the question is my family situation. So obviously I have 3 children. The 3 children I have are with my ex, and they live with a mum. I'm married, but obviously we all get on really, really well. It's a big family unit that is brilliant, and it's brilliant for the kids. The kids don't see any difference. Everything. The kids were very young when me and the mum split up. There's no bad feeling there. Everything's great. So therefore we operate as one family. But I always find myself having to explain the situation.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? So like, if somebody says, "Oh, so you, your wife, and they're your kids," and it's like, well, they are our kids, but their mum is the mum. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And then it's like, because Daisy sees the kids as her kids. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not biologically, but she's been in their life since they were practically born, you know. And then obviously Kylie's their mum, you know, and so I'd never dream of telling people that Daisy is the kid's mum because that's not fair on Kylie. Do you get what I mean? But you know, like when we all went on holiday together last year. Do you know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, that is normal for us. We're doing it. We all get on. We all wanted to go away with the kids. We went away with the kids.
And people were asking Kirk if you were a single dad with 5 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I did get that once in London where they thought Kylie was my daughter. And you know, but all this thing of like, even when we're away in Turkey and people are like, oh, so mum, wife, but 2 wives? No.
2 wives.
Do you know what I mean?
I think it's because it's just so uncommon.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be. But
No, I agree.
At end of the day, whether it's common or not, I sometimes feel as though if I want to tell a very quick story about something, about the family, that I almost feel as though I've then got to go back and tell the whole lead up to why. So it would be just easier for me if everyone just knew.
Yeah.
Without me having to explain to people that didn't.
Or you could also get a T-shirt printed.
Yeah.
That is complicated. No, go away.
I've got another one.
Are you
actually.
going to get these T-shirts printed from me and Kirk? Oh, okay.
I've got another one in that I wish people would understand that when I get passionate about something, I do get louder. I speak quicker and I get louder. And people sometimes mistake that as me getting angry. And I'm not getting angry. I'm just passionate. I mean, maybe it's just Gemma. But she's like, Rob, why are you shouting? Why are you shouting? I'm not shouting. No, you are shouting. No, I'm not shouting. Before long, I am shouting. I'm not shouting. I'm just passionate about the situation.
Really? I don't think. But I've never. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. But I've never thought that.
I mean, maybe it's because you know me. But
I know you, and I know when you get passionate.
well,
so,
people at work have on the occasions gone, Rob, you don't need to shout. And I'm like, no. And then you try, and then you like go quieter and slower, but to explain, no, it's okay.
You should also get a T-shirt printed.
Hey, what should mine say?
Yours should say something like, hearing protection is highly recommended.
When passionate.
When passionate.
When passionate.
Oh, yeah.
So what about
baby.
you, other Mark? Have you got nothing?
I don't know.
What about, I don't know, what about a question that you don't like being asked?
Is it, are you drunk? When people ask you that.
Just opening a whole new kind of worms there.
Do people say that to you? Are you drunk?
No.
No, because they already know the answer.
Oh, here we go again. A question that I want people to know the answer to.
Well, that was the first one. Could just made it a bit easier.
Or a question you don't like being asked.
Or a question I don't like being asked. Don't know, really.
You must have one. I got one straight away as soon as you said that. Not for you, for me.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know.
I can say one. You literally said it earlier. Which, by the way, I don't mind you saying it because you were just joking. And it doesn't actually bother me, but a question that I get asked, I think, oh, here we go again. I suppose it would...
What, the Amazon job thing? No,
no, it was a joke you made at my expense. And it would answer both questions, but it's, are you gay? Honestly.
Well, I only said that in the jokey way.
I know, mate. I couldn't care less. And that's almost contradictory to what the question was, because I couldn't actually care. But, you're just bored of answering the question at 41 years old. Yes, I know I'm a bit camp.
Yeah.
A lot camp. But I get it a lot. Are you bisexual? Are you gay?
Does it bother you more if people say it to you in a serious way or in a jokey way?
To be fair, I don't think it matters how they ask the question.
Because I think it'd bother me. Because if they said it in a jokey way, I'd be like, oh, it's just. But if they said it in a serious way, I was like, oh, are you gay? And you'd go, no, and they'd go, oh.
I think I'd probably take not an offence, but I'd answer it more seriously if they it was more of an insinuation of, are you gay? I'd be like, well, no, I'm not. But, when they normally...
In like a negative light, almost like an accusation.
Yes. Yeah. Then I'd become a little bit more defensive by it. But normally, people don't do that. And they're almost inquisitively asking, oh, are you Almost like
Do you think though that there might be an element of it because you have? I mean, not so much now, Rob. In all fairness, we take the mick or whatever, but you was a lot more feminine when you were younger.
Yeah.
And you was a dancer and aerobics.
Yeah.
And you was a bit camp, and then your mum was gay.
Yeah.
So
That was definitely a thing at school.
Yeah. So do you think that's where sometimes people can wrongly, by the way, just apply all them things to you and then insinuate?
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think that's what happened at school. That definitely happened back then. But as I've got older, I think it's just a general comment because I still have, ways about me. I don't think I walk camp. I think someone said to me not that long ago, you've got a bit of a mince going on there, Rob.
Oh, that's just your catwalk,
Well,
catwalk,
maybe.
walk,
Yeah.
catwalk, walk.
Walk.
Yeah. But so it's just a question that you just think, oh gosh, I've got to answer this again. But no. So yeah, there you go. Answered
So-
another question for you there, Mark.
Has Mark thought of something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I really can't think of.
I'm going to say something about Philippines, weren't I?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the only thing...
Have you ever been?
Well, I've been once. I don't know if that's... don't know if I'm going back again.
Are you
but-
banned?
No. Well, no. So, over there, why did I say we're going to mention Philippines? Something to do with music, weren't it?
Yeah, Black Lace we're talking about.
Oh, that's it, with music. For some reason over there, they don't... do you know, like some countries are like behind with times and stuff? You look at Philippines, you go, this sort of like where Britain were in 1940s.
Like Australia.
Why is Australia behind?
But I think that, I think
Really?
they are. Yeah. Their fashion sense is,
Well, I'm going to say about music because, like, everywhere I went, shopping malls, shops, in taxis, all they played were 80s music, and I was like, "Are they stuck in times or something?" And then, like, I said to a few people, "Oh, do you know, Coldplay? No idea who they are, and like Lady Gaga, who's she?" I'm like, I think it was just so surreal that you get in a taxi, they've got 80s music on. You're like, what's going off here? I don't know. I know it's a bit weird.
In
But
all fairness, mate, that was same as when we went to Malta and watched Take That, and it were almost like, oh, we're in taxi driving, and they go, oh, who are you going to watch? Take That.
who are they?
Who are they?
Yeah, really?
Take That. You don't no. Robbie Williams. No.
No.
You're like,
Yeah, it's
wow,
weird, isn't
these
it?
people. We assume that they're world famous.
Yeah,
and they're not.
exactly.
They are.
Yeah,
They are,
yeah,
but
just
they're
not. Yeah, just not necessarily in Elvis, Michael Jackson kind of realms and leagues. But yes, they are world famous.
Fair enough.
Sorry, speaking of music, before we go, is it into Eurovision soon?
It is actually, yeah.
When is it?
Is it beginning of May?
Am I coming round to yours again?
Absolutely, you are.
I mean, you two are invited probably, but you won't come. So
Correct.
Well, it's not that I won't come. I'll be working. I'll be doing a Eurovision style night.
Have you got a date booked on that date already?
I don't know. We
And-
actually
and it-
because
he's washing his hair.
because we don't know what date it is. You just think it's
No.
May time
And,
sometimes.
if I tell you what the date is and you haven't got a gig, would you book it out to come and what?
would I book a disco out to come to watch it?
Would you? Yeah, book it
What,
off.
and lose money?
Book
no.
it off.
Hello? No, I can't put like a holiday day in, can I? I don't get holiday pay.
Well, you absolutely can. You just say I'm not working like that. I'm busy.
To the venue?
To everyone.
Oh, yeah. Where do I get my money from?
We'll get someone else to DJ. You earn money off them DJing, don't you?
Yeah, about a tenner.
All right.
That's it.
You need to up your prices, mate. Chuffing hell.
Exactly. So today's episode, it's Good Friday today, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Yeah, Good Friday.
Oh, happy Good
Easter.
Friday.
Yeah.
I always get confused when it comes to Easter. Is it today that he died, or today that he came back, or
Came back.
You
on
are
Good Friday.
definitely
So what's-
asking the wrong person.
so? What's
Is
Easter
it-
Monday then?
He came back again.
That's when you're good at pub, innit?
I know. Didn't he die? Didn't they put him on the crucifix on the Friday? I don't know what it's called.
And then
Good, by the
arisen
way.
on Easter Sunday.
And then he rose on the Easter Sunday.
Why is it Good Friday then?
I've just
Well,
said that, but
well,
I don't know.
what
They
day
should
did
call
they?
it Bad Friday, shouldn't they?
What day
Bad
did-
Friday?
What day did they put him in the cave with the big stone?
I thought that was Good Friday. I thought that was
What?
the day he died.
All right. So he was on the
Hang on,
cross.
I've never heard this story.
Right. Well,
put him in a
not
cave?
It's in a book called the Bible.
I've never read it.
He was on the cross for
When's
some
the
days.
cave?
They dipped him in some gravy.
What?
And he came out a piece of chicken.
Free gravy.
Free
I'm
gravy.
being serious here. I don't know about this rock.
Anyway, he died on the cross.
Where do you think they put him once he died on the cross?
No, he just stayed there, didn't he?
No.
What? And
Yeah,
then came back
forever.
to life on the cross, pulled the nails out of his own hands and his feet.
They took
I
him
don't
down.
really know, to be fair.
They took him down from the cross and they put him in a cave.
Tomb.
And and put a big boulder in front of it.
Really?
And then on
I honestly don't know that.
I don't even know how I know. And then on Easter Monday, I'm guessing
Easter Sunday.
Easter
Sunday,
Sunday,
yeah.
then
Went to pub on Monday.
they found then that the boulder had been moved and Jesus was no longer there.
Oh.
Yeah. Thieves have been at it
Maybe-
again, haven't they?
Maybe I learnt that at school, but I've just forgot, maybe.
Probably.
Probably. Probably.
You
But I
were-
remembered the cross bit.
You were at school before it happened.
Yeah, in AD times.
Anyway, shall
anyway.
we spin the wheel?
Yeah,
Shall
let's
we
get it
spin
done.
Here we go. Oh, it's spinning. What's it gonna be? Oh, this is so exciting. Go on. He's nearly there. The Wheel of Features.
So nothing from last week. So Rob's over near the wheel. So do you want to give it a spin?
Absolutely. Are we ready?
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Give it a spin.
Oh.
What's it gonna be? What is it?
Hey! Yay! It's been a while since you've got that kazoo out.
Are you ready? So I'll tell you what we do. So I'm going to play a kazoo, I'm going to play a song, and you've got to try and guess who it is.
I'm ready.
And what it is.
I'm absolutely ready.
Are you
for
ready?
this.
I'm
Yeah,
ready.
here we go.
Right. I just need to remember now what the song was. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're ready.
3 blind mice. Okay. Are we getting different?
Is that 3 different songs you've got?
Is that 3 different versions?
Is one a remix?
Are you changing your mind?
No, I'm trying to think of the next bit before I play it.
Can you do it all
Can you
together?
play one bit first?
Yeah, I just have.
You could put them all together.
It helps if you know the song.
I know. You know when you can hear it in your head, but you can't get it out your mouth? Right, I'm going to go straight in with the hook. You'll just get there straight away.
All right.
All right.
All
Okay. I think it's great, right? You genuinely believe in your head. You
Yeah.
genuinely believe in your head that what you've just played
Yeah.
is so completely obvious that
Not
we were
perfect.
all going to sit
So,
there and go, "Yep, we
Yeah.
know it."
Yeah.
I haven't got a clue.
No.
That's the intro.
What? What?
That's the intro. And then
No, it's not.
cut to the hook. Again.
Again.
Yeah.
I thought it was just to throw you off.
Oh,
because we need to
because
throw it off.
we needed to throw it up. My
Leave
God.
that one with us.
I've not done this for a while, have I?
No.
Oh, you know when I said to you earlier, do ones that we might know. You may, you'll get them too quick. Yeah, that's what you need to do because we're never gonna
Just
get
a few words of wisdom from Mark there.
I forgot how it goes.
Leave that with me. I'll see if I can work.
Can I Shazam this?
No.
won't
That
bother.
ain't
I won't
gonna-
bother.
that ain't gonna know, is it?
12 Days of Christmas.
Right, well,
Okay.
we'll have a think about that for next week.
Good luck.
Oh, boys, actually, before we go, I've got one question for you.
Oh yes.
go on.
Each,
Okay.
all right?
This ain't gonna drag this episode on another half an hour, is it?
No, well, it might do because I might get to Mark and say, and they might go, I don't know. I
yeah.
can't think of
Likely.
anything.
Me, you don't mean
I just
me,
think
do you?
I just
Other
think it's a
one.
name in the name, you know. So I'll come to you first, Rob, because you'll have an answer. If you was to be on Mastermind,
Right, yeah.
yeah, what would be your specialist subject?
I'm gonna. Filmmaking.
Filmmaking.
Yes.
Okay. Other Mark.
I don't know.
We knew that would come in.
Yeah. Questions.
About anything.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Surely it's something to do with music.
Yeah, gotta be.
Music?
What just music?
That's
is,
very general.
I'm gonna say.
Music, but not classical.
Or
opera.
What about like Oasis or something? Like
Oh, yeah.
Their albums and the tracks, or even indie music.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
There you go. Go with that one. Indie music.
Oasis.
Oasis.
All right, Mark.
Well, I'd said the obvious music, but again, that's too general. So
Yeah.
I could, so I'd probably make go for something like I don't know, Disney theme parks, Universal rides, attractions, maps.
Pick
you know.
one.
Well,
It's a specialist subject. Disney.
okay, Disney.
But theme parks.
Well, I'd say Disney as in the company. Even.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I'd-
really?
I'd-
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
What
It'd be
for,
hard.
Kurt?
It'd be hard, but
Say again?
What for?
what about you?
You'll see.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
See you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye, boys.
Thank you for your continued support with our independent podcast. Did you know that you can interact with us and other listeners on Facebook, on the Chat In Tap Room Facebook group? You can also get in touch via email, innthechat@gmail.com, and of course on any of our socials. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.